Well, I had the debates, and I never debated professionally before, and a lot of these guys were debate champions and, all of that. That's why they're politicians, all talk, no action. And I had the debates, and every single poll, there are 7 polls, and they polled the debates, who won the debates. Like Drudge, who's a fantastic guy, by the way, but Drudge and Time Magazine and different Slate, all these different, they have online polls, and every single time, I had 11 debates, and every single debate and every single poll I won. In other words, every single poll had me winning every single debate. I sort of liked debating, I have to be honest, and I was on center stage on every debate, meaning I was the number one person. And, this is since, like, July, and after the debate started, I was on center stage. And I don't mind the debates. I think the debates are a good thing. And by the way, Hillary's not a bad debater. I watched her. She's not a bad debater. But I think the debates are going to be positive for me. I sort of wish we had more than 3. We have 3. There are 3 scheduled. And I think we should perhaps have more than 3, if you want to know the truth, but because there's a lot going on.
Getting back to try to figure out this global economy now, it seems like we're, and it's been something you've talked about a lot. It is more global, and maybe as it's gotten more global, we haven't always gotten the best end of the deal. But you've made some comments about Janet Yellen. Number one, do you think that she's not the right person right now for the job? Would you not reappoint her? Would you ask for her to step down? Is there someone else you think should be in there? And do you think that she should be raising rates now, not raising rates? What is she doing wrong?
Well, I have nothing against Janet Yellen whatsoever. I think she's been doing her job, and I have absolutely nothing against her. I don't know her. She's a very capable person. She has, people that I know have high regard for her. But she's not a Republican. She's not a, person that, when her time is up, I would most likely replace her because of the fact that I think it would be appropriate. She's a low-interest rate person. She's always been a low-interest rate person, and I must be honest, I'm a low-interest rate person. If we raise interest rates and if the dollar starts getting too strong, we're going to have some very major problems. You look at what's happening with our trade. You look at what China's doing to their currency with devaluations. They're killing us. They're killing us on trade. And, trade is the single, and devaluation. If you want to really take a hard look at what's going on, the devaluation is the single greatest tool that these other countries are using to absolutely kill us, assuming they have capability, manufacturing capability, et cetera. And China is like a grand master. They are the grand master of all grand masters. And if we start raising rates, I've always been a low-interest rate person. Now, if inflation starts coming in, and we don't see any signs of that, but inflation starts coming in, that's a different story. Then you have to go up and you have to slow things down. But right now, I am for low interest rates, and I think we keep them low, and we have to compete. We have to compete in many ways. But when the dollar started going up recently, that was not. You looked at what happened, and we're going to lose all our business. It's wonderful. It's a funny thing. I love the concept of a strong dollar, and in many respects, obviously, I like a strong dollar. But when you look at the havoc that a strong dollar causes, and I can tell you, I have friends in China, all they do is watch the dollar. They love to see it go up. They just love to see that dollar go up. So actually, while there are certain benefits, it sounds better to have a strong dollar than in actuality it is.
Mr. Trump, I agree with you, and it's a huge dilemma that we face, that we talk about just about every day here on the show. But the problem becomes if the Fed doesn't raise interest rates, low interest rates, part of the real thing that we've seen is it's been such a huge contributor to inequality in the society. If you want to look at why the middle class and the people who are less wealthy feel a lot worse off and the rich feel a lot better off, it's because of the low interest rate environment. How do you tackle that inequality in a low interest rate environment?
Well, before you get to inequality, we have another problem with raising rates. We have $19 trillion in debt, right? It's going up to 21. We have numbers that are beyond belief. We're paying a very low interest rate. What happens if that interest rate goes 2, 3, 4 points up? We don't have a country. If you look at the numbers, they're staggering. We have a very low interest. We have tremendous debt, tremendous. And it's at low interest rates, fortunately. If those rates went up 2 points, 3 points, 5 points, because I was here during the Jimmy Carter days,
right,
when the prime rate went up to like what, 21 or 22%, Becky, right?
right.
And I watched that whole deal. That was not a pleasant deal for a lot of people. As we had our beautiful prime deals, our solid prime deals, all of a sudden we're paying 21% interest, right? So I've seen what can happen, and it's not a good picture. But what do we do with all of the money that we owe everybody when rates go up, and now all of a sudden we have to borrow at 2 points more, 1 point more even is devastating, but 2, 3, 4, 5 points more? It's a real dilemma, and we have to be very, very careful. And I am the king of debt. I do love debt. I love debt. I love playing with it. But of course, now you're talking about something that's very, very fragile, and it has to be handled very, very carefully.
Hey CNBC fans, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Here you're going to find videos packed with all of the information that you need to be smarter about your finances. You can subscribe by clicking right here and click on all the videos around me or the I right here to watch the latest from CNBC. Thanks for watching.